Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to The Troop, a turn-based World War II tactical combat game that is currently only available via a free demo on Steam. It is currently in development, and this will be the third video that I do on this game. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the final scenario that is available in the demo called Here They Come, which I believe will be an armored battle, the first meeting with the legendary Panzers. I assume this is about the German counterattack with their Panzers. I think there was one Panzer division that counterattacked the British landings, and I assume that's what this is going to be, because all the previous battles have been focused around D-Day with you know, varying degrees of complexity. This presumably will be the most complex and large battle available in the demo, since it is the last. Although the last battle was fairly complex, I think. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump in. Loading. There's a link in the description if you're interested in following this game and wishlisting it. Just check out the description and check it out there. It is 4:30 p.m. on D-Day. The only Panzer division available sends its tanks to drive the invaders back into the sea. I wonder if we'll be on the defensive in this battle. But the British in their path are ready. Chapter 5. Here they come! Deploy your forces, ready to engage the approaching enemy tanks. You have a pair of self-propelled guns at your disposal to help even the odds. So check line of sight from any tile at that time during your deployment using the line of sight tool. Like aiming, preview the line of sight tool. Show clear purple line of sight, blue, and partially obscured in purple. Okay. Yes, sir. We have 5 of 6 units deployable. Looks like we have a 3-inch self-propelled M10, 2 of those, and then we have 3 Sherman Mark IIIs. So 5 of the 6 units deployable. Already deployed?
Reporting. Yes, sir.
5 of 6 units deployed. Does that mean I get more units? I guess I'm kind of confused here. I see 5 units here. There's up to 6 deployable. So what does that mean? The Germans are going to apparently be advancing at us from this direction over here. And so I think it's mostly, I guess this is probably mostly just on us to pick the right terrain to defend from. So if we take a look here, partially in sight over here, fully in sight over here down the left, down the roadway. Seems like a fairly good location. Maybe a little bit exposed. It does have potentially an avenue for retreat through these hedgerows if we can get through it. What if we deploy this unit back a little bit? I'm trying to get it to like where it can duck through hedgerows. It needs to retreat.
Yes, sir.
Can I
relocate?
So if we deploy it here, what does that do to our line of sight? So we still have pretty much clear line of sight through this field toward the enemy arrows, as well as down the road. So I like that position a little bit better than our previous position. Take a look at this tank. It can also see off to the right a little bit, as well as down the main road. This tank doesn't appear to have any clear withdrawal. I guess it could withdraw left and back behind these hedgerows, and that would protect it at least from down the road, although not really from the right flank. They'd still be somewhat exposed. Could withdraw. These guys are going to be about the guy back here. He can shoot at everything to the right. Can't really aim down the road though. So this way we have 2 tanks that can fire down the main road, but this guy's a little bit out there. Now, we do have some infantry here in this building, it looks like. I don't know if they have any anti-tank weapons though, so they may be a little bit exposed. So all of these tanks can fire at the right flank objectives. We don't have anything that can fire toward the center or this field over here. I could relocate these guys up here and check out the line of sight for them. I can't really see much better. Can we relocate again? I don't know that I want to push them so far forward here. Like, what can they see from here? If we rotate them. Yeah, like this whole field's going to be a little bit a little bit of a mystery for us if they're coming down that center. Now we can see these left flank units do have a good sight, do have a good line of sight on the tanks coming up this way. What about these guys? Like if we place this guy up here, can he see better? Yeah, I can see a little bit over to the right. Does he have anywhere to retreat to though to get out of the line of sight? Not really. I mean, there are trees back here, so he could potentially fall back. Like if he falls back to here, deploy him up here, pull back to here. So yeah, I mean, I guess you got a little bit of an avenue to retreat from. Oops.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So I guess we could, and I have no idea. I haven't played this battle before, so we'll see. I may be deploying all my armor too far forward with no real reserves.
Yes, sir.
Line of sight tool here. So like this one's gonna have great line of sight, but also super vulnerable. Not really where I want it. I guess if we put him back here, what kind of line of sight he's got here? Nothing really toward the center, but does cover the left flank. And then this guy's in the same position. So I'd rather relocate this guy over here. What does that do to line of sight? Not really anything. Can't. That's basically a reserve position. Put him here. Covers the left flank. Okay, so I think these tanks will cover the left pretty effectively. We don't really have any coverage in the center, so we'll have to see how best to defend there. It's very limited coverage there, but we've got three tanks kind of guarding, or two tanks kind of guarding the right flank, three tanks guarding the left, and then we've got the one infantry unit here, which I guess are just good from a spot the enemy perspective. And I don't understand the 5 of 6 units deployable. I'm guessing that just means I can move those 5 tanks and I can't move the infantry, although it does say I can move these guys. Anyway, so we'll end the deployment there. We'll see what the enemy springs on us. So we've got an enemy Panzer Mark IV, it looks like, moving across this field, another one moving over here. The enemy apparently has the initiative, so they get to move first. They're going to see us on that main road, so they're actually going to cut straight across to this field. They appear to be unbuttoned as well. It'd be great if I could call like indirect artillery fire down. Enemy panzers are already close. Your recon team has spotted some of it from a vantage point in the farmhouse. Defeat the enemy counterattack. So these guys also should probably try and stay hidden. So we're going to keep them in place. Hopefully the enemy won't know to shoot at us until we open fire on them. The enemy appear to have 2 Panzer Mark IVs as best as I can tell. Hatches are open and they're moving quickly, which makes them difficult to hit.
Yes, sir.
So if we do aim the turret, we can aim here or back over here, but we can aim over here to the right with a 62% chance of hitting, so that's good. I think I'll go ahead and fire that and see what happens here. Nice, our tank destroyer hits the Panzer Mark IV, 70% suppression. Hit goes through the enemy tank, presumably kills some of their bad guys. I'm assuming the enemy has quite a few tanks here because it looks like they've got 11 morale points. Far more than we do. Can't aim at those guys at all. But we will rotate the turret. I thought I had a better position than this for this guy. I didn't realize that I was quite that far over. Let's move this tank out a bit. And then can we aim the turret at this bad guy? No, not really. Okay. We'll just, I guess, move the turret. No, don't do that. I guess we'll just leave that as is. Unless we want to, can we advance a little bit further? We can, we just can't fire again. Or fire at them, so we can move it up here. But I probably don't want to move it too far down the street. That'll expose a little bit. What about this guy over here? Can he aim at any of these enemy tanks? can at this guy. What are the odds? 48% chance. Can anybody else see this bad guy? I don't really want to reveal my position, although the enemy is unbuttoned, so they might already know I'm here. I guess I wish I knew. I guess it says I'm hidden, so I know I'm hidden. Okay. So these tanks, this tank is not hidden. The other one is. And I can aim and hit this guy, huh? So if I aim over here, only a 19% chance of a hit. That's probably not good enough to reveal my position.
Yes, sir.
So let's go ahead and end the turn and see what happens here. Enemy turn. Their tank bails out, so that's good. One enemy tank is knocked out. This Panzer is training its turrets, presumably on the one tank of mine they've seen. Another Panzer IV is coming through here and traversing its turret and firing. A miss on our tank destroyer.
Good incoming force, sir.
Now the thing with the tank destroyers is they are open. They do not have a top turret, so presumably that makes them much easier to hit. The enemy knows we are here. They're shooting on us. So we could for sure knock this enemy tank out, but they've already bailed out, so I'm not super concerned with doing that. If we aim our turret over at this Panzer, we got a 50% chance of hitting. I kind of think we'd be better off reversing. I'm assuming we can get behind cover back here. I'm assuming behind this building will make us safe from the enemy, so we'll pull back. What good are tanks if you can't, you know, maneuver a little bit? And I can't see anything, but neither can they really.
Yes, sir.
So reverse there. This tank is still hidden, it looks like. And it can spot one of the enemy tanks out here on the far right. So we'll go ahead and aim there. 40% chance of hitting. I think that's good enough. We'll fire and see. We hit it. Nice.
Penetration.
So 100% suppression, damaged the enemy gun, killed at least 2 enemy crew. I'm assuming they're going to bail out as well. That was a good die roll. And the enemy advance on the right flank is taking some serious punishment.
Yes, sir.
All our tanks here. Can they see anything yet? Does not look like it. So we'll keep them in position if they're if they haven't been spotted yet.
Yes, sir.
This tank here, can it see anybody? No. And we got to keep the scouts in that farmhouse undetected because they are our eyes and ears. They're the reason we've got such good spotting. 39% chance. Sure. And that's a miss. A near miss, but a miss. So we still have 2 hidden tanks and 3 revealed tanks. Well, in turn 2, let's see what turn 3 has in store for us. The enemy armor is moving. That's the tank we fired at. They're also buttoned up, it looks like now. This unbuttoned Panzer IV continues moving toward the farmhouse. Looks like they've buttoned up as well. Having one of your tanks knocked out reduces your morale significantly. You can sometimes avoid this by bailing the crew out and moving them to safety. Okay. Well, I'm guessing the enemy by bailing out reduces their morale penalty. This tank doesn't look like it's been knocked out. It's still sitting there. It's smoking a little bit. It's suppressed, but it's not bailed out. None of these other enemy tanks, though, here can see me, so I guess there's no reason not to fire at the same enemy target again. So we'll fire, 67% chance of a hit. And we hit it again.
He's knocked out.
Tank knocked out. She's on fire. She's cooking off. Enemy crews killed, what was left of it. And the enemy tanks destroyed. Looking at this, also, you can see a huge impact to the enemy morale just by losing 2 tanks. They were like at 11 morale now. Now they're down to 5. So the knocked out tank or the bailed out tank didn't really impact them too much, but the destroyed, cooked off tank definitely got them to kind of stand up and take notice. Assuming it can't, yeah, still can't see anything here. Move over here. Can they see me? Still can't. So we'll rotate this way a little bit. And we're going to stay back here for the time being. This enemy tank destroyed over here. We don't no real threat to our right flank, but we can pop out and ambush these guys on the roadway. Tank back here is also safe. So our tanks in the right flank that are doing a lot of the damage to the enemy so far are largely safe. This tank, which has already revealed its position, is not able to hit any of these enemy targets. They can hit the enemy crew, which I guess we'll do. And we did minimal damage to them, but who knows? I mean, it's probably worth killing enemy tank crews, right? Okay, so this enemy tank is moving into sight. We have not revealed our position yet. They are unbuttoned. I say we reveal it and fire. And we missed. Better than a half chance of a hit. But we still missed. And I think that's the only... I can't hit that other tank, huh? What if I advance slightly? Alright, so I moved one hex, and now I can try and move and fire on the same turn. Not a great chance, 44% chance, but we had a 59 and we missed, so maybe the 44 will even things out. Nope, another miss. Still firing at an enemy tank twice that is currently unbuttoned. Perhaps it will cause the enemy to think twice. By the way, what else can see me? Nothing at the moment. There's another tank back this way. All right. So let's end turn number 3. I don't think there's anything else for me to do at the moment. All of my tanks have been revealed to the enemy. Uh-oh. No, they hit my tank. Where did he get hit from? Was that an unidentified enemy tank? Oh shit! They got another one of me. 2 of my tanks hit with heavy suppression and casualties. Only 3 unharmed tanks so far. So who shot at me? Where were these enemy tanks that were undiscovered here? Back over this way. All right, well, he's in the hedgerow line, so he pulled the same thing on us that we did on him. We could bail the crew out here. We didn't suffer any casualties. Or actually, this one's hidden still. So it's the tank over here, the Sherman back behind the farmhouse. And then the tank killer over here, which is immobilized but has a 50% chance of a hit on its current target, which I'm inclined to take.
Yes, sir.
Can't fire on this guy.
Reporting.
Probably should just reverse. Can we reverse to safety? Like I don't know. Are any of these areas out of the line of sight? That enemy tank back there? So I can pull this tank back over here. Although we'll be inside of this tank on this street? Okay, so I can pull it back to here and it'll be out of line of sight. So we'll do that. Should be out of line of sight of all the enemy. Now that I just pulled back a little bit. Appears to be.
Yes,
Well, this guy who is hidden cannot aim at anybody yet. But we'll just chill here.
Yes, sir.
This tank is immobilized. Do we take the chance of knocking an enemy tank out with the risk that we get destroyed and lose heavy morale, or do we try and bail out now? What about the tank behind it? It's got an 89% chance of knocking this tank out in front of it. Or at least hitting it. So let's do that. Short-barreled Sherman. Hit turret, knocked out. Nice. We got another enemy tank. Third tank eliminated. Second full-blown knocked out. Rounds cooking off. Good results for us there. All right. This guy have any aim on anybody? Minimal chance on that crew. Can't really hurt anybody else. I suppose we could fire on the empty tank and maybe try and set it on fire. Still has a minimal chance of hitting that crew.
Yes, sir.
What about this immobilized tank? Can it aim at anybody else? No. But it also can't be hit by anybody else. So can we, let's try and repair. I've never done that before. Sacrifice the unit's next turn to regain 2 lost movement points. Counts as the unit's final action. Repair MP. Well, does that mean it repairs the immobilized state? Not totally clear. I guess we'll... Vehicle... Yeah. Okay, let's try that.
Yes, sir. Receiving.
Alright, we'll have this tank fire on the crew, just because maybe it'll hurt their morale a little bit. Got 10% suppression there at least. Didn't, give any casualties, but... We could fire on the unbuttoned tank and have a 40. This is kind of where things get a little bit interesting, because we've got this crew here, this infantry unit, which is clearly our spotter for our tanks. Presumably they've got a radio or something and they're reporting back. But they can fire on this enemy tank and they have a 40% chance of a hit. But the enemy tank is also unbuttoned, which means like rifle fire could do real damage to the enemy tank. The only problem is then they'll give their position away, which I'd rather not do yet. So I think we'll wait one turn, because I can't, they're my spotters. If they get knocked out, then this whole thing becomes much more difficult to like keep track of where the enemy's at and sort of fight. We got another enemy tank spotted here, so the tank that damaged my tank destroyer or my Sherman, and then another tank cruising through here, so another new enemy tank spotted, as well as this guy moving down the road. We've got 3 enemy tanks in action, plus the 3 or so we already disabled. God, they moved right up to my infantry, huh? Well, it's now or never for this infantry. They're still unbuttoned. They've got a 64 to 80% chance. Let's hit them. They didn't do any crew damage by the looks of it.
Yes, sir.
Can't hit any of these guys. What if we... can advance the 1 hex? We still can't see him? We've given away our position. But we can't... Alright, well, we're gonna duck back now, because I can't hit anyone I want to hit.
Reporting.
So that was a waste. We're getting flanked a little bit. My troops have revealed their position, which is a problem.
Yes, sir.
Alright, is there anywhere I can advance to? Give me good line of sight. I think the only way is to sprint out here.
Receiving.
I can't hit any of these tanks on the right.
Reporting.
My own tanks are not exactly invisible, but
Yes, sir.
can this guy be seen by any of these bad guys? I guess that's the good thing. It'll be interesting now that I gave away my infantry's position. I'm assuming they're all just gonna plaster this guy and that I'm not gonna be able to see. So we've got 2 tanks. I'm assuming this is... I mean, the enemy only has 2 morale points, so they're very close to defeat. I'm going to move these guys down the street. Doesn't mean they don't have a bunch more tanks, by the way. I don't think there's no chance I'm going to get these guys, but I'll at least fire. keep them honest. Maybe they'll shoot at me rather than my infantry. I don't know that I want that,
Yes,
but...
sir. Yes, sir. On our way.
Okay. So we'll try and hit them from this flank, and then maybe if they focus on my tanks to the left, then I'll move my other tanks out. Can't see any of them. All right, so we've got those two tanks moving forward. These tanks are hunkering down behind the farmhouse, and my infantry are about to die. So we'll go ahead for the next turn and see what's what. Enemy tank unbuttoned on the right flank is advancing down the right side of the map. There are enemy tanks firing on us. One thing I noticed, and it looks like they missed, thank God. One thing I've noticed is the player often can move and attack on the same turn. The AI in theory can, but it doesn't seem like they do it very often. 2 misses on this Sherman here on the left flank. God be praised. That tank's gonna move directly in front of the farmhouse. Presumably they're buttoned up now. And they don't even machine gun them. So they did get suppressed from the one enemy tank over here. They're all Panzer Mark IVs by the looks of it, but for what it's worth. Doesn't look like they hit anybody. These guys are still unbuttoned. I wonder if I could toss a grenade down on them. Like, what happens if infantry... I'm gonna wait. Can infantry just toss grenades down on tanks in this game?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I mean, I'm assuming if I knock out this enemy tank crew, which is bailed out, that we could reduce a morale point. We got 2 of their crew who are hunkered down. Oh shit! I didn't even see that enemy to our front.
Yes, sir.
Can these guys fire
Yes,
at
sir.
him? Shit. That was a waste of a round.
Receiving.
We have a 63% chance of hitting this tank. Can I fire and retreat? Because I mean, they shot at me twice. They didn't hit me, but how many more times is that going to happen?
Yes, sir. On our way.
Move this guy down the street. I still can't aim at any of these guys.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Reporting.
This tank is not visible. What's the line of sight tool say for this? Yeah, they won't be able to. Alright. We'll keep this guy hidden.
Yes, sir.
These guys are still immobilized? Well, or at least they're damaged. It doesn't say they're immobilized. Although they can't move, so I guess they're still immobilized. What was the point of that repair if I can't? So this is kind of a gamble, right? Like a 63% chance of a hit against this enemy tank. We knock it out, we probably win. We miss and we probably lose our first tank. But those are pretty good odds. Got him! At least got a hit. I don't know if we knocked it out. We did knock it out. That should be the battle, folks.
It
Seems the enemy have had enough and are retreating to fight another day. I was hoping they'd show... Okay, so that was a little bit easier than I expected, to be honest. We knocked out 4 Panzers, and we didn't lose anything of our own. So, I guess sitting back and letting the enemy come to me and, you know, withdrawing and playing it somewhat safe with a couple of gambles worked out for us. So that was a shorter video than I thought it would be, but that's going to do it for today's look at the troop. It's going to be the last look at the troop on the channel for a while, an upcoming turn-based World War II tactics game that focuses on the British and Canadian effort after D-Day in Northern Europe. I think it's really interesting. You know, I've seen a few people in the comments compare it to like close combat, but turn-based. I think there's some merit in that. You know, could have some kind of XCOM-y type vibes in terms of like, you know, growing attached individual tanks. If you carry them over battle to battle, it's not clear whether you do or not. But certainly some of the die roll luck elements, yes. But yeah, I think it's a cool looking game. I think, you know, we don't see a ton of these kind of games come out. So it's definitely something I've got my eye on. Let me know if you want to see more of this when it does come out on the channel. But until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching. And until next time, as always, I'm out.